Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Fried Pickle Warrior 7. Thanks for the suggestion, Pickle. You asked, what makes some eggshells brown and others white? If you've ever stood in the grocery store egg aisle and wondered why some eggs look like they came from a modern art exhibit, while others look like the poster child for breakfast, you're not alone. Is there some deep nutritional difference? Do they come from different types of chickens? Does one group just prefer tanning beds? Today, we're cracking open the truth behind eggshell color, what it means, what it doesn't, and why you might be paying more for a chicken's paint job, right here on Explaining Everything. Let's start with the big secret. The reason some eggs are brown and others are white is entirely about the breed of the chicken. That's it. No need to overthink it. Chickens come in different types, and their eggshells reflect that. It's kind of like how some people have curly hair and some people don't. Nobody's getting philosophical about that at breakfast. White eggs typically come from chickens with white feathers and white earlobes. And yes, chickens have earlobes. They don't wear earrings or anything. Missed branding opportunity. But they're there. The rock stars of white egg production are white leghorns, sleek birds that lay eggs like machines. Brown eggs, on the other hand, usually come from chickens with reddish-brown feathers and red earlobes. You've got breeds like Rhode Island Reds, Plymouth Rocks, and Sussex, who are basically the blue-collar heroes of the egg world. Working hard, laying strong, and looking rustic doing it. So next time someone tells you brown eggs are more natural, just nod politely and remember, it's all about the chicken's outfit and earlobe color. This is where the science comes in. And yes, it involves a chicken's insides. Deep inside the hen is a magical organ called the shell gland, located in the oviduct, which is the egg production highway. As the egg forms, this gland is responsible for laying down the eggshell. In white egg layers, the shell gets formed without any extra flair. It's just good old calcium carbonate, naturally white. But in brown egg-laying chickens, during the last 5 hours or so of shell formation, the shell gland adds a pigment called protoporphyrin IX. This pigment is derived from hemoglobin, yes, like the stuff in blood, which gives the eggshell its brown color. So essentially, brown eggs are white eggs that got a custom paint job in the final stages of production. If you crack a brown egg open, you'll notice something interesting. The inside of the shell is still white. That's because the pigment only coats the outside. It's like the egg version of someone who only irons the front of their shirt, because that's all people see on Zoom. This is where marketing has really scrambled our understanding. A lot of people think brown eggs are better for you, more organic or farm fresh. But here's the unvarnished truth. There's no nutritional difference between white and brown eggs, assuming the chickens were raised in the same conditions. It's not the shell color that determines how good the egg is. It's how the chicken lived. A free-range chicken fed a healthy diet will lay better eggs, whether they're white, brown, or green, with purple polka dots. Okay, not that last one. Probably. But seriously, the belief that brown eggs are automatically superior is kind of like assuming someone who wears flannel knows how to chop wood. It might be true, but it's not guaranteed. Ah, the great breakfast budget mystery. Why do brown eggs so often cost more than their white counterparts? It's not because they're fancier or more nutrient-packed. The main reason is that the chickens who lay brown eggs, your Rhode Islands, your Plymouth Rocks, are typically larger birds. Bigger chickens need more food, and more food means higher costs for farmers. And those higher costs? Yep, they show up on your receipt. Also, these larger breeds often lay eggs at a slightly slower pace than their white-feathered counterparts. It's not drastic, but when you're managing thousands of chickens, every egg counts. So in short, brown eggs are more expensive because the chickens are hungrier and maybe a bit lazier. Relatable. While white and brown dominate the grocery store scene, some breeds lay eggs that are blue, green, or even slightly pinkish. These pastel beauties come from chickens like Araucanas, Araucanas, and Easter eggers, which sound like Pokemon evolutions but are very real birds. The blue color comes from a pigment called biliverdine, a byproduct of bile. So, yeah, maybe don't think about that too much while you're cooking brunch. The key difference here is that with blue and green eggs, the pigment actually permeates the entire shell, inside and out. So if you crack one open, the inside is tinted too, like a naturally dyed Easter egg. These colorful eggs aren't more nutritious either, but they are undeniably fun and make you feel like you're living in a Pinterest board. So, what have we learned today? Aside from the fact that chickens have earlobes and pigment glands, we've learned that eggshell color is a direct result of chicken genetics and nothing more. But at the end of the day, the shell color doesn't affect the taste, quality, or nutrition. Brown eggs aren't better. White eggs aren't worse. And blue eggs aren't from outer space. The difference is all in the breed and the biology of the bird. So next time you're standing in front of a towering wall of eggs at the store, feeling the existential dread of modern adult life, remember, it's what's inside that counts. If you learned something new, or at least laughed once, hit that like button, subscribe, and go break some eggs. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.